I think yesterday was very, very special, guys. Arsenal beating Liverpool by 3 goals to 1. We're here for the tactical breakdown, people. It's my first time ever doing this, by the way. So if you guys do enjoy these types of, it's a different type of video on the channel. If you guys do enjoy it, make sure you hit like buttons up. By no means I'm calling myself a tactician. I'm just seeing this what I viewed of the game myself, and I thought we're going to dissect everything, the goals, some individual performances, go everything, from the stats to the tactics as well. So you guys, this is my first time. Hit like buttons up. Make sure you guys sub channel if you are new as well. If you guys want me to do more of these for every other game, then 100% be down to do it. But let's get right into it, guys. So, yeah, that was very, very special yesterday, people. Big, big win for Arsenal as we beat Liverpool by 3 goals to 1. If you haven't checked out my match reaction, go and check that out where I give my thoughts on the game in general. But we'll dive into the tactical side of things today. So let's just get right into things, guys. So we're going to start with, of course, how Arteta lined up for this game against Liverpool. So it was obviously the same back five, I should say, as always, with Vieira in goal, with the back four, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Alexander Zinchenko. And then the three in midfield, which I really liked him doing, and which, of course, showed and proved in the game. He put Jorginho in. He actually started Jorginho. Um, Now, I said in my preview, I said, let's start Jorginho because we're going to need that stability in there alongside Declan Rice. I know people wanted to see Smith Rowe play. I know he's a fan favorite, but I just feel for this type of game, and we'll be talking about more Jorginho later on, and he's impacting these big games. But for this type of game, we had to go Jorginho to give us that stability in the midfield alongside Declan Rice, and obviously Martin Odegaard was there as well. The front three was Saka on the right as always. Martinelli got a start on the left, and he put Kai Havertz as a false nine. Um, Down the middle for Arsenal. Now, there's a little bit of controversy, including myself. I wanted to see Trossard there, but Havertz played very, very well and was a big part of why we actually won this game as well, which we're going to talk about in just a second, guys. But that was obviously Mikel Arteta's lineup for Arsenal to take on Liverpool. So let's talk about, obviously, these are some of the stats as well. These are the main stats out of the game. So, of course, we beat them 3-1. The XG, we had 3.52 compared to their 0.41. We had 15 shots in total. They had 10 shots in total. We had 7 on target. They had 1 shot on target, Liverpool, in the whole 90 minutes. Certainly not that great if you're a Liverpool fan looking at that. Only having, if it's a flip side and if Arsenal had 1 shot on target and lost the game 3-1, I would be fuming as well. So, yeah, possession-wise as well, it's interesting how Liverpool against the Emirates had more possession, but it just showed by having 1 shot on target, they did absolutely nothing with that possession. They didn't cause us too many problems at all. Um, you know, we'll get into the goals in more depth, and their only goal coming from our mistake, really. So it's safe to say that we certainly did deserve the win. Yes, had more possession, but end of the day, they didn't do anything with that possession, and that was the main thing for me. But there's some of the stats there, people, if you want to look at that. So let's move on then. We're going to talk about Arsenal's 4-4-2 shape without the ball. Now, this is the main thing. Now, you see that by the picture here, it was a 4-4-2 shape. You had the back four there. The second half, and obviously we brought on Kivior, so yeah, there's no Zinchenko inverting, but you had Kivior, of course, at left back. Then you had, of course, the two centre backs, and then Ben White at right back. You had Trossard sort of just keeping an eye here, where you can see Joe Gomez sort of trying to make a run here when Liverpool have the ball, but you got Trossard keeping an eye on him. You got Kivior backing up as well and covering him, and then obviously in the three in midfield as always, you got Jorginho, Rice, and uh, Saka as well. And then obviously the main thing we took out this game as well, we'll talk about this in a minute, is Kai Havertz and Odegaard being the main two sort of outlets in the 4-4-2 shape. Really, that's what I noticed the most. Havertz and Odegaard were the main two actually pressing Liverpool, pressing the defense. It was those two in particular pressing. So yeah, it was a 4-4-2 mid block. For me, Jorginho was the key. He was the key to our press, because the whole point of him was to press McAllister. So every time he pressed Alexis McAllister, he took him out of the game. and he was a main player for them. Yeah, I understand Liverpool miss Szoboszlai and all that stuff, but McAllister was sort of their main guy in the midfield. So as soon as he's pressing McAllister, it's very hard for them to play out through the middle. Liverpool, and that was due to Jorginho. You know, it was risky. You can say if Jorginho, didn't press it, Liverpool could, and there's a few times I remember a few occasions in the game where Liverpool found McAllister. He went on and had a few shots as well in the game. That's because, Jorginho decided not to press, as well as our front two as well, Havertz and Odegaard. They was taken out of the game, so it was very easy to play through the middle. But I thought Jorginho was certainly the key to obviously our pressing and taking a big player like McAllister out of the game as well. But let's talk about these two then, Kai Havertz and Odegaard, because I'm sure you can notice, guys, these were the main two pressing the Liverpool. Every time Liverpool got the ball, it was always Havertz and Odegaard pressing the whole time. It was those two in particular. You had Havertz, of course, playing the false nine, dropping back as well. You had Odegaard, both of them. Every single time it was only them. Those are the main two who we looked at and press everything when Liverpool had the ball. And both of them had absolutely superb games. Both of them was big parts. And we're going to go to the next slide right now on our first goal because it came from both of them. Now, it's very interesting to look at this goal because this is what Odegaard does best, is when he gets involved like this, the space he's able to create here. I mean, you got to look at this firstly. You got Zinchenko on the ball right now, okay? You got Martinelli alongside him. You got Trent. We know what happens when Trent and Martinelli face each other. Yeah, Martinelli cooks Trent. So Trent's main focus here for me is making sure that the ball don't go to Martinelli. Because say Zinchenko decides to play a pass to Martinelli, Trent's not allowing him to do that because he's pressed him really high. Trent obviously doesn't want Martinelli to get the ball here because he's one-on-one with Konate. 9 times out of 10, he beats Konate and we're through. So Trent goes to press Zinchenko. Obviously, he's inverting as always. Then look at this space that Odegaard's got, man. Look at this space Odegaard got. And again, we got to highlight Kai Havertz here. Playing as a false nine. He's dropping back. I think that's McAllister he's with right now. This is the type of thing Kai Havertz can do. Look, I've criticised Havertz a lot, but this is what he can do. Dropping back, creating this space here. But I think the main thing that comes out this goal here is got to be this work from Odegaard, man. The way how he gets the ball here, receives a pass, the space that he's got, he's able to make a through ball just like that. Havertz is in. Havertz goes and has a shot, and then you got Saka, who's not in the screen. Of course, Saka backs him up, and we're there for the rebound. But this all came from me due to the fact you had Trent, who was obviously pressing Zinchenko, and then you look at the midfield. Look how much space that there is for Odegaard in that midfield. You also got Van Dijk as well to highlight here, because Van Dijk. I mean, look at his body language. You can tell that he's in two. He sort of hasn't really made his mind up. He's in two sort of situations. Does he stay back or does he go and press the ball? I think he makes the wrong decision in Liverpool's point of view, but you can see he gets caught out here, Van Dijk, which allows the space for Odegaard to play the through ball into Havertz. Havertz obviously has the shot, and keeper saves it, and Saka's there at the right time. But for me, Odegaard does all the work here. The space is there, creates the space, and I also think Liverpool defensively were poor on this goal as well. But that's for them to worry about, not us. So let's talk about the goal that obviously we conceded them, people. I think I just screenshotted this. I think this is the main screenshot we've got to really look at. I mean, it was a long ball over the top. Obviously, you obviously bet your house on Saliba not doing. I mean, nobody really doubted Saliba in this moment, really, because we know how good the guy is. There's two things I look at really with this goal with Saliba. I feel like he could have quite easily just cleared his lines. I mean, it's very easy. You're looking at the screenshot there. Clear your lines. At the same time, could David Raya have came out quicker and demanded the ball and helped Saliba? I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this goal. Who do you think's at fault? I do think Saliba. You got to look at because he could have quite easily cleared these lines here. But at the same time, I also look at Raya. I'm like, could David Raya have actually came out and demanded? He's a goalkeeper. Demand the ball, help Saliba out there as well. I'm not really going to blame Gabriel too much because Diaz got a touch on it and then it's came off his hand into his own net. I just feel like a ball over the top. You would expect someone like William Saliba to deal with it. It's just one lapse of judgment, one lapse of concentration, and just like that, it was a very poor goal to concede. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on that one. Was it for you? Who's that really faultless? I'll say it's for me, William Saliba. At the same time, Raya could have done a bit as well to help him out there. But this time he could have just cleared these lines. Okay, guys. So talking about our second goal then. Obviously a long ball over the top. I think this is more down to Liverpool fans and you. I think you defensively, guys. I feel like you lot very, very poor. But yeah, obviously, I think it's calamitous at the back for Liverpool. You've got Virgil van Dijk. You've got obviously Alisson as well. I feel like for me, in my opinion, if I'm looking at it as a Liverpool perspective, I say Alisson. Well, both of them at full, but I say Alisson coming out. I mean, Van Dijk, could he have cleared it in the position? I think he could have as well, in the position that he is. But you got to give credit to Arsenal as well. You got to give credit to Gabriel Martinelli. Putting that pressure on Van Dijk, using his strength as well, Martinelli there, and ultimately going. I mean, look at this here. Alisson comes flying out. Martinelli's there. He's got a clear instinct, and uses his strength as well. Van Dijk's under pressure. Martinelli's there. Does what he does best, and has an eye for goal, and uses that, and we got 2-1 up. Simple as that, really. But yeah, I think you got to look at it as Liverpool as well. I don't know what they were thinking at the back with Alisson and Van Dijk there. Van Dijk could have quite easily cleared it. And Alisson comes flying out, completely misses it. I think they're at fault there. But again, credit to Martinelli for that second goal. Let's talk about the third goal then. And it all comes from our substitute, Leandro Trossard. It's a great bit of skill, honestly. It's a great bit of skill to get past two players. And then, you can see build up to the goal. He's driving with it. Liverpool, there's about 4 defenders behind Trossard. They just can't catch up with Trossard, and he gets in the tight angle as well. And again, Liverpool fans, could your goalkeeper Alisson done a bit better here? Trossard from a tight angle, great finish under Alisson's legs. We killed the game off 3-1. Look, I can understand why Liverpool were obviously so behind, and the defense was so behind. Obviously, Trossard, because they were 2-1 down in the 97th minute. 91st minute of the game with about 6 minutes left. They're down 10 men as well. They was going to push for the equalizer. So hence why they were so behind Trossard. But big credit to of course our boy Trossard here. Skips past Elliott, keeps driving the ball from a tight angle through Alisson's legs. 3-1, game over. So a few things I want to highlight, guys, is obviously this man's performance. Jorginho, man of the match for me, man of the match by far. And that's what I'm talking about. He's played against Man City as well. I'm pretty sure he got man of the match. These types of big games he plays in, Jorginho, he turns up. Yeah, he turns up. And once again, his presence in the midfield, his intelligence, his IQ in the midfield, which is absolutely, knowing when to press McAllister, making sure he got that right as well, because he could quite easily press too late or couldn't or didn't press at all, and then they would have been in through the midfield. But allowing Liverpool not to play through the midfield, allowing Liverpool, putting them under pressure, that is all about. And obviously some of the passing he did, his game, you see his pass map there, absolutely superb performance from Jorginho. By far, man of the match for me. Him and Declan Rice in the pivot was absolutely immense. And listen, for these big types of games, I think this is a guy you got to go with. And I said it when I did the previews of the game. I said, you have to play Jorginho in the midfield because he's going to give you that stability with Declan Rice in there. If you play Havertz there, we wasn't going to get that. Playing Havertz in the midfield, for example. But playing Jorginho there gives us that stability. And I think he did the same against Man City, had an absolute superb performance, and against Liverpool yesterday had a superb performance. So this guy in these big games is the guy we've got to go with alongside Declan Rice. I thought he's absolutely immense in the midfield. So yeah, for me, man of the match. I mean, you can see his pass map there, guys. It turned out to be a very good signing. A decent signing. But people, including myself, criticize it. Signing from Chelsea, but he's came in, and every time we need him to do a job, we can rely on him to do a job. In a big game like this, you can rely on him in the big games. So I think from now on, when we have these big types of games, play Jorginho. If we of course haven't got Thomas Partey fit, Jorginho is the guy that we have to play in there alongside Declan Rice. Just other thing I want to mention, guys, is the summer shoots as well. Arteta got his subs for me spot on, especially the one with Jaco Kivior making that sub at halftime as well. I think he's learned from his mistakes, Arteta, from taking off Zinchenko at left back, bringing on a more solid defender, really, who can actually defend. With all due respect to Zinchenko, guys, he's poor defensively. So, and we're seeing how many times Zinchenko played against Liverpool, and he's been at fault for most of the goals when we conceded against them in recent times when we playing against Liverpool. So I think Arteta has learned that, and honestly, Kivior's another great shout off the bench, and I thought he had a fantastic performance, very, very solid at the back. He's not even a left back, guys, but he came on and he was very, very solid indeed for us. So big credit goes to Jaco Kivior, and again Arteta for making a halftime substitution as well, just to really compact the game, to really make sure, we've gone into the halftime 1-1. To really make sure that we didn't end up conceding and end up losing the game like we did in the FA Cup. He brought on Kivior to give us that sort of presence in defence, to make the defence more compact and more solid. And Kivior had a great job. Obviously, Trossard coming off the bench as well. This guy turns up in the big moments. He's a big game player. And obviously he came off the bench, scored a goal again. And he seems to love going against Liverpool, doesn't he, people? And he seems to love a goal in these big games as well. Very, very good player. And also, Reece Nelson, he brought off the bench as well. And he even made an impact as well. So for Arteta's subs were absolutely spot on. And they certainly did indeed make the difference, guys. But yeah, if we just go back to the start, people, I feel like this game was a masterclass from the manager, was a masterclass from Declan Rice and Jorginho, even Havertz. A big shout out to Havertz as well, because I said I wanted to play Trossard down the middle, but Havertz played down the middle, and him playing the false nine, him dropping back, making runs as well. I mean, look at the first goal, for example. The whole, working with Odegaard, both of them pressing the ball as well together. I thought he's a big reason why we also won the game. So, yeah, guys, that is that. Thanks everyone who watched this video, guys. Something a bit different. First time I'm doing this, so look, I ain't no pundit or anything. I ain't no tactician. This is just how I personally view myself. These are my opinions on how I view the game myself, really. So let me know anything you disagree with, guys. Let me know your opinions down below. Make sure you guys hit like button, sub channel if you're new as well, and I'll see you in my next one.